Guys, my high school teacher Killinger's here. I swear to God, we've recorded these on different days. It just seems like he lives at my house. But we're talking about how much influencers get paid.
It's insane.
Well, I think
I mean it's market value, like it's fair, but it's to the outside world.
I think it's very funny because you have a really interesting perspective because you're very much in the outside world. When did you?
Wow, thanks for. I think I've got a little micro influence going on. Yeah,
you
my
have,
own little corner
you have
of
a
the
good
internet.
following on Twitter, very strong fan base, 100 likes per tweet. I see it. But when did you? I'm very open about how much I get paid. So when did you? No, not okay. Like I think I've told you like a rate.
Oh yeah, point. No. With me, I thought you meant on the podcast that you were open about it.
Oh, I don't know. So I'll talk about it whenever. But when was there like when did you realize that there was money in social media? Because I remember when I was first moving out here, people could not wrap their head around the fact that you could make money off social media. Right. They were like, "What the like?" At first, were you confused?
Yeah, but I think I got it early on because even when you came to talk to me about like how you had already moved out here, but you talked to me about like, should I stay back here? My parents want me to go back to college and things like that. Like while we were having that conversation, which I normally tell people in a sense of like, oh yeah, I told him like, you stay in LA, young man, and you'll, climb to the top, whatever. But like, and make it seem like I had a lot to do with your success, which is not the case because while we had that conversation, you got a phone call from either Jack or somebody who was hooking you up with deals. And like while we were talking, we got a phone call. It was like, oh, so-and-so is going to pay you $5,000 for drinking their brand of bottled water
right
in one of your like vines or something. Then I was like, and that was insane to me. But I mean, and that's nothing compared to what you get paid now. But at the time I was like, holy shit. Like, yeah, man, go to fucking LA. Are you out of your mind? Like if people are going to give you $5,000 for 5 minutes of work,
okay,
then don't go to school.
Here's another interesting question. Killinger just walked in, so he missed our conversation in the past. I'm going to give you numbers from a smaller influencer, and you tell me how much you think they should be deserved to pay, how much they should be paid for all this, okay?
Okay.
So this influencer has 1 million followers on Instagram and 1 million followers on YouTube. They have to post 7 in-feed posts on Instagram, like 7 in-feed posts, and 4 stories and 5 YouTube videos. How much should they get paid for that?
5 YouTube videos and and all that shit on Instagram.
Yeah, 7 Instagram posts. It's like a bigger deal. How much?
I mean, that sounds like it's in the like 100,000 or more.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Hey.
Wow.
All right,
look at me. Well done. That's fucking crazy that you got that. Yeah, there was like this article that leaked basically and was saying that like this fashion brand was not paying their influencers a lot, and for that they were paying people $8,000.
That's nuts. If you've got 1 million, how are you not finding better deals?
Well, the argument is there's a lot of people that have 1 million. There's a lot of people that have 1 million followers.
Sure.
It's not the craziest anymore because it's so saturated. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's fucking crazy. I think you're a little bit more like aware of like how much people make on social media, but like, have you ever had conversations with people that don't understand it at all?
Yeah,
that's like the most entertaining thing to me.
It really is, especially like, so I don't know some of the numbers you've been making on some recent things, but like one of those companies that measures that stuff, I'm sure you guys saw, like it said that your worth is like 500,000 per Instagram post or something.
Yeah,
or like Market Watch.
Completely wrong, though. That's like way too low. No. That's way too high. Like
really?
Yeah, for an Instagram post, no fucking way am I getting 500.
Gotcha.
No,
okay.
No.
So I mean, so that's like, I assumed that was off since it wasn't like any official thing. It was like their market estimate. But still, I tell people that number in terms of like, with a caveat of like, I don't know if this is true, but this organization thinks that he's making 500,000 per post, and that's like, I mean, people just can't even wrap their heads around it.
I think people, the problem with this is also like people will be like, Charlie D'Amelio has 100 million followers on TikTok, so she charges $130,000 per TikTok, and she posts 4 TikToks a day. That means she makes $600,000 a day. Right. That's not how it works. You don't get paid for an Instagram post that doesn't have a brand attached to it,
right?
Or you don't get paid for a TikTok that doesn't. Well, now you do because of the creator fund, but it's like hundreds of dollars as opposed to thousands. But like, you don't get paid for posts where there's no brand attached to it, and I think people forget that a lot. People are like, he gets paid $400,000 per Instagram post. It's like, well, no, but yeah, I've definitely heard deals like there's like the bigger Instagrammers, obviously, like the Kardashians of the world will definitely get paid like $1 million or $2 million for an Instagram post, but those are very rare.
Mm-hmm. I think one time
it's a lot for a brand to justify spending $1 million on one picture.
Right.
I don't know if I've talked about this now. Tell me if I've talked about this. My favorite deal that I've ever gotten, it was for a little over like $100,000. for some sort of like, I had to promote and tweet about this program where people can tweet at the program and it responds to you. It's a robot, but they were making the robot like lifelike, so like anybody can have a conversation with it. And I had like all these posts I had to do for it, like Instagram stories and in-feed posts and tweets about it. But the first day of the program, I did my first post, and I had like 5 more to go. I did my first post, but the program, it learns. So like with more people texting it, it learns more about pop culture and stuff, whatever.
Okay.
And people were texting like inappropriate words to it. And it started picking up on that, so it started responding with inappropriate words. It started calling everybody like a bitch, a motherfucker, a cunt, and like this was a program made by like a really high-end company. So they shut the entire fucking program down, but they still paid me out the $100,000, which was fucking insane. No, I did one post, which they made me delete too. So I was only up for like 2 hours, and they still had to pay me out for the entire thing because this program just became an asshole. But that's happened before. There was like a deal with like Ninja and Mixer. Did you guys ever read about that deal?
I haven't read about it, but I knew about it.
Yeah, I read about it.
It was like, what was it?
Well, I mean, he just went. They paid him. What was it? Almost
like 10 million or something, right?
10 million.
No, it was a $100 million deal.
What? It was a $100 million deal.
It was like insane to switch over to Mixer and to be like the first creator on Mixer.
So Mixer was like the new Twitch, like the new place to
right.
stream. And I think they paid him like $100 million, but then Mixer went under in like a couple months.
Yeah.
And they
I didn't know that.
And they had to pay him out all the money.
Jesus.
And, and it was like a multiple year long deal, but like.
So what, is he back on Twitch now? Like,
yeah, he's back on Twitch.
Jesus Christ, that's incredible.
Because he had to be like exclusive to Mixer for something like 3 to 5 years or something, thinking that it was going to be the next streaming platform, and then it just tanked. But they had to deal with him, and so they had to pay him out, and now he's just.
We got a deal.
So
we
dope.
pitched a show to Quibi, and they were so excited. They sent us a cake. They're like, we want to buy how many episodes? They're like, we want to buy like,
8
18.
episodes.
No, that was the first cake.
Oh.
They sent us one cake and it was, we want to buy 8 episodes. And then the next one was like, cancel the rest of your pitches. We want to buy 18 episodes. And they really wanted it. They wanted to buy so many episodes from us. But I was like, no, Quibi's not the place to be.
Sure.
And I'm so pissed because they went under 2 weeks after. So I was like, if we could have gotten this fucking contract wrapped up,
Yeah.
we could have made like a couple $1 million just because Quibi went under and they would have had to pay us out. But yeah, I think that's such an interesting like thing where like companies still have to pay people out after.
The same thing happened with the podcast too. There was a big offer.
Oh yeah, we got a huge deal for the podcast for this podcast.
Really?
Oh, we've talked about this on the podcast. How much was it?
$700,000, I think.
Yeah, which at the time was really big.
Right.
For to have the podcast somewhere else. I don't know where it was. And I said no. I was like, absolutely not. Like I want it on Apple Podcasts. I don't want it to be in a weird place. And that company went under in like 2 weeks, and they had to pay out everybody.
Paid everybody else.
Sure.
They paid everybody out that was on their
And
thing.
then talked to Dave for 3 weeks.
I was gonna say.
Jay was so pissed because it was $700,000 just for our podcast to air a week earlier on like another platform.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't even exclusive. It was just
no, it was just like a week earlier. No, it wasn't exclusive. I would never do anything exclusive. But yeah, and that happened, and I was like, fuck. I guess we should have done it, but you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really funny.